Okay, and we are live. Let me bring, y'all gonna have to see me do this on set, but it's okay. Um, eh, no problems. All right, so today we are here to talk about TikTok and this current landscape of TikTok. My name is Michelle, and I am a teacher currently, but I have my side hustle and I am an entrepreneur as well. I am the creator and owner of the Math Intervention Academy. I blog all things math and all things math intervention, and that's what I do. And I'm going to let my guest introduce herself. You're on mute.
Hi,
Oh,
can you hear me?
yeah.
All right, there we go. Hello, everyone. I am B. Michelle, the brand coach. I am a full-time entrepreneur, former educator. Um, but so I help small businesses and solopreneurs build the foundation of their brand and explore the world of entrepreneurship. Um, so yeah, this is gonna be a fun conversation.
Yes, it is. Because it's really crazy. So let me go ahead and read my little script before we get started because I'm gonna get lost. That's how I do when I'm teaching too. If you're a small business owner who used TikTok to promote your products or service, this live stream is for you. There's a lot of uncertainty around TikTok right now, so let's get the facts straight and discuss how you can protect and grow your business moving forward. And that's one of the issues that people are having because I do understand that, people are losing income, from TikTok and it being in this I guess space cuz it's crazy.
Yeah.
It really is. So, the first thing we're going to talk about is TikTok in the US political climate. I'm an expert in that because I deal with being a political pawn when it comes to education. That is just who what we do. And I know business owners are not accustomed to that, but so welcome to my world. Hope you enjoy your stay because that's where we are. So go ahead, B. Michelle, and talk about that. Your thoughts on our political climate.
Well, you and I had a very lengthy conversation this morning. And what I will say is that it never, I don't know why I'm surprised. I don't know why I'm surprised. But what I will say that I think more business owners have to start taking heed to politics and be more involved because the number of entrepreneurs, whether you're a content creator, you have a brick and mortar, you provide a service or a product, more and more entrepreneurs really have are ignorant from a standpoint of lack of knowledge, ignorant about politics and about how it, even from a local level. If nothing else, I feel like I said in 2025 that I'm not going back and forth with anybody that do not know their city council representative. Like, and I meant that. Um, I'm not going back and forth with people who don't know who represents them at a state level, a city level, or a county level. And every city has a different tier of political representation. But even at the local level, from an entrepreneur standpoint, that's where it's really like you got to really be in tune to what's happening in your city politically, especially as a business owner. And also, if you have a brick and mortar, more than anything, and if you have revenue over consistently over 100, I'd say 150, $100,000, because that's when it really starts to matter. But from a federal standpoint, the whole thing with social media, because most your average business owner is on social media and TikTok. I mean, during the pandemic, we didn't have nothing but time on our hands. So Like, so we that's all we was doing was buying stuff online that we didn't need
Absolutely.
on Clubhouse, having conversations with, I mean, which still needed to happen. Like it kept us engaged, and on TikTok. So, but now I think with the current climate of with it legally being banned, because legally it still is banned at the moment. I know we're gonna get into that, but legally it still is banned at the moment. And I think that we have, from a business standpoint, because so many people have made so much money specifically off of TikTok. I think that's why a lot of people went into this whole frenzy
Meltdown.
about it disappearing, because they also, and for me, as a brand coach and somebody that helps you develop and maintain in brand management, I hope that a lot of people that was making money off TikTok, like that caliber money, I really hope that they were investing it in other areas, really putting the money to good use. Because if y'all president do not find a buyer in 75 days, it's really a wrap.
Yeah.
Like, and there'll be nothing that anyone can do about it because it's in black and white as a law. And the only way to undo a law is to create another law to undo the one that's already been done. So no executive order that he puts out is going to save anybody. And especially if you started your business, or either, even if you do have a product or a service and you use TikTok to sell that product or service, this is now the time for you to start building your community on YouTube, on fan base, on other platforms as a safety net, because there's no telling what's going to happen um, with TikTok.
Right. And there, there's some confusion around what has happened. I do understand that there are people who didn't pay attention in history, in failed history, or when they
Right,
were doing the civics classes. I do get that. I wasn't paying attention either. But Google is a good tool to figure out what you need to know as an adult. And even if
right.
you are a creator or what they call an influencer, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing. You need to be business savvy. Now, there was a lady on YouTube who was scolding people because I'm not as empathetic or sympathetic to the people's plights on TikTok. I'm just not, because my thing is you should have known better. You should have. Because any small business owner, and you're talking about, I'm a business owner. No, you're not.
Right.
Because to be a business owner, you have to pay for something. People are not
Yes.
set up and shop in these strip malls like Office Depot
Right.
and Popeyes. They're paying rent or paying a mortgage on a commercial building. They're paying for something. People don't say, hey, this is free and then you make money. No,
Right.
that's called rent. They're making money off of you. You make a little money. Y'all, you're not in any contractual agreement.
Right. Well, and the thing about this, but that's why I said so, because there's levels to this, and so for the people who are on social media or on TikTok specifically as an influencer, getting the brand deals and things of that nature. Now, mind you, a 1090 a 1099 make you self-employed. Now, how you structure yourself is what makes you a business, because at that point, once you get an LLC or you decide to become an S corp and all of these things, and you do incur expenses, because and the more you grow in your influence and things, and then you're traveling, you've hired a stylist, you got graphic designer, you got social media people, so now you have business expenses. So but if you haven't set up any of that and you just taking the money and you still operating under your social security number, facts, you are definitely not necessarily quote unquote a business owner, because you can still get a 1099 under your social security number. So if you have not necessarily set up yourself as a legitimate business, that does matter.
And
That
it
re- that
does.
that does matter. So I think from an influencer standpoint, because you're not necessarily you're that's more of a service oriented because you're either posting about people or whatever it is. But for the people that have a product and they're selling on TikTok, I think it's very it's I mean, this is the time right now. Don't let these 75 days catch you. This is a time right now to definitely start diversifying how you market your product and or service. Like as myself, I do brand coaching and business consulting. So if I rely solely on TikTok, which would not be smart, like I would need to start looking at building out either my Instagram profile, like I said, fan base is now number 6 on all apps. So going over the fan base or spill. So there's other sites and other ways for you also to make money. I will start working on building communities on other platforms just in case. But it's always important also, to have yourself established as a legit business because here's the thing, you never know when the next opportunity is going to come along. That's going to require a different level of you and require because not everybody can run their business raggedy. People want you to turn in that W-9. And if you have no
Right.
clue what a W-9 is,
Yeah.
like that's business 101. Everybody should have a W-9 ready to go. At the end of the day, you should also have a tax preparer or somebody, a CPA, especially if you're making thousands of dollars. Like at the end of the day, if your revenue is that, and that, I mean, a CPA for sure after 100K, even 80, 90 to 100K, you should start really thinking about getting a CPA. But at least a good tax preparer is important at the end of the day. But if you just out here just getting the bag and not doing anything, I mean, that's just not smart. And you put yourself in a position for your whole livelihood off of an app
Yeah.
that you had plenty of notice about,
Right. This was last year.
that you
Yeah.
had plenty notice about that was going to be leaving. Like the amount of people that was on Facebook and Instagram, what the other day when on the 19th, talking about I didn't think they would do it. Well, they've been
Yeah.
telling you for 2 years.
Yeah.
I
And they
was like,
did. And then they even gave you a date. So that's the issue that first of all, it's two issues. It's Americans that like we must have did a horrible job educating you and your parents too because that makes no sense. What do you mean you didn't believe they would do it?
right,
Like, come on now. That's like them telling you if you keep coming in to work late, we're going to fire you. And I didn't think they were going to do it. Like it didn't make any sense. That blew me. It did.
yeah.
So
It no,
here's my
you're right
thing
about that one.
with going now. So everybody's yay, TikTok's back up. It's not. So let
It's
me
not
start there with educating you all, if you're watching this on the replay or live, educating you all on the ban is a law. That's not quote unquote law. It is a law. And there are articles out where they said they're going to enforce said law. Android said, no, we're not playing with y'all. You cannot access TikTok on Android. You know why? Because I've never had an account. I was one of the people, I don't fool with foreign enemies, not my Spilo. So when I went to look for the app to see if the companies were complying with the law, they are. So that's your cue to say, no, let me move on. Because
yeah,
Android, they're not legally, they are bound to the law. They don't care what Donald Trump promised. That's y'all,
right,
broke people and people who need the
yeah,
platform. These companies, they're not going to play. Their legal counsel is going to say no, legally
right,
you're bound to this US law. So people are saying, well, it's back up. Yeah, because our foreign enemy who don't give a care about the US, they turned it back on. But you're not about to get
hmm
it off of here. So if you
okay,
think you're about to make the same money and it's the same TikTok, It's not. And moving forward, let me tell you, there's a group of investors who have made an offer to whatever this company Byte something. They
Right
made
there.
an offer to them, but guess what they want to do? They want to chop and screw it. And it's not going to be the same talk. TikTok is going to be the conservative version of TikTok. Yay! So now
No,
what are you going to do?
you're right about that, because I think even now people are starting to see that the algorithm is a little different. No, it's back up, and people have to understand, like, TikTok hit whatever button they hit to shut it down, and hit that same button 15 hours later to open it back up. Now, whatever conversations they didn't have with 47, I don't know, but it's definitely some fuckery involved, because inviting old boy to the inauguration and old Zuckerberg too. Look,
He's
it
suspect.
ain't rocket science.
It's
Now,
not.
mind you, if old Zuck don't buy it, I mean, I don't know. 47 likes I mean, he petty, but he also likes to be the savior. So he might really try to go out on a limb and find a buyer just so he can look like the good guy. Although he is the one who initiated the ban, being petty. And that's really what I want us to, if y'all don't take nothing else away from this video, this. He is the one who initiated it during his presidency. It just so happened that once it hit the books to be signed, Biden was already in office. 47 initiated this whole thing. It's just that by the time it passed through the House and the Senate, Biden was already president. But y'all have to remember, it was also wrapped up in that whole wasn't it wrapped up in the infrastructure bill and all of that
It
stuff, right?
was. It was.
Yeah. It was wrapped up in a whole lot of other stuff that got signed off on. So let's just be clear about who started this. And now, of course, he gonna look like the savior if he find a buyer. But don't be surprised if all 47 don't put some ducats on it himself. Do not look. I won't put nothing past him if he don't try to buy it, or one of his relatives or whoever. Look, I don't trust that man no further than I can see him,
Yeah. And
and
he
clearly I
and
don't
Mark
see.
Zuckerberg is in on it too. Because my neighbor was telling me, she said how convenient it was when TikTok went down, the servers were in China. TikTok came up, guess where the servers are? Denver, Colorado. Yeah.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that's a new one. That's a new one.
Yeah.
See, they playing in our face real bad. But look, he signed. So what? He signed the executive order yesterday. For the whole 75 days. So basically, what's that? Roughly 3.5 months. So y'all got about to a good April, a good end of March, April. Yeah, about middle of April, right? 75 days. That's about middle of April. So you got about to the middle of April for him to find a buyer, a U.S. buyer, before it's gone. But again, as a business owner, I would spend these next 75. I think the 75 days started yesterday once he signed it. So I would spend these next 75 days really building out my audience on other platforms, building out your email list, updating your website. You can stream from your own website. Like, I know that it's about the app and the content, and the whole, having mutuals and all of that. But if you're about getting your content out there, there's plenty of other ways and plenty of other apps to get your content out there. You have options. But I wouldn't mess around and wait to March to start thinking about it.
Right, because it's not going to be the same. And that's why I said being you TikTok is a political pawn, meaning that for lack of a better term, it's radioactive. Like it is
Yep.
damaged goods. Anytime politicians get involved in something that's ruined. Look at public education.
You ain't never lied about
Yeah,
that. Good
they got their little
gracious.
hands in it. And now we're having to get into politics. That's not what public education is. And I know business owners, they don't pay attention to the political climate. You don't. But you need to, because
Yeah.
we're in the day and age of unethical business owner. Mark
Yes.
Zuckerberg.
But and that's like we even though the conversation we were having just earlier today or either yesterday about neither one of us really enjoy being in politics. But we both are in our respective industries because I promise you I do not enjoy it.
No.
But as I advocate for small business owners, African American business owners, especially here in Texas and here in San Antonio, is like you have to be involved. You have to be where you have to be where the policies and the laws are made if you expect anything to change. And that's just if you care enough, you got to get involved in the policy making process and the law making process and organizing. Like I don't think I've ever like right now after we finish this up, I got to send out emails because I'm in the process of organizing a group of people um to on a political level to help move some things forward here in this city. And like you got to be organized, you have to be organized, and you have to be organizing meaning gathering people for the cause
Yeah,
um in order to then be able to get done what you need to get done on a political level. And it's exhausting. It is definitely exhausting. As a person who also is an executive director of a nonprofit, it's exhausting on both sides. Like,
it
but
is. Because
if
people
you
are
feel
not
like
educated enough. First of all,
enough,
you have to figure out where they are in their education on said issues. A lot of
right,
Americans, since I've been dealing with politics as a union leader, they don't understand. Even the parents that are uh, that have children in the public school system don't understand how it works, nor have they been involved until they have to be involved. And
right,
it shouldn't be that, because right by the time your awareness is raised, it's you're in crisis mode.
right. No,
So
that is true.
yeah,
But
and
that's
we're
another
in
thing I
crisis
think.
mode.
But and that's what I'm saying. Like even with this whole TikTok situation, I wouldn't necessarily even. This is a act now. Start making a plan now before these 75 days start to get close because you do not want to get caught up in case they don't find a buyer
Right.
because I think he's going to have a hard time. I don't know. I'm a little 50-50 on it, but I feel like he's going to have a hard time getting Congress and Congress to undo this law or come up with another one to unban it. Now, I'm not saying it couldn't happen because I mean he got full support currently of both the House and the Senate, and we know he got the whole Supreme Court in the palm of his hands. So I'm not saying that it couldn't happen, but in order for TikTok to go back to in order for TikTok to go back to its current state, um they're going to come up with a new law to undo the law that's already on the books. So just to be clear, I think people need to understand that this 75 days, you just in a holding tank.
Right. And let's talk about that. So you're on TikTok. I'm not on it, but I'm making moves too because I'm trying to get away from Facebook. Because Mark Zuckerberg pissed me off. He really did. He pissed me off because, he said, I'm getting rid of the DEI, which is fine. That's your raggedy company. But at the same time, he makes this other statement because white men are losing jobs to unqualified women and people of color. I'm gonna show you about people of color and how we can take our little coins and that 2, 4, 5,000 I spend every year on Facebook ads, I can go to Google and spend them over there.
No, right?
Yeah, I can do that. So, and we can all turn off our data so you can't have any money. Now,
That is true.
to the detriment of the business owners, but that's what I'm telling you all. They put politics. So there are consequences for being a political pawn. And Mark Zuckerberg did that. And find other platforms, because we're gonna move on to talking that. What can you do in the meantime? I got off of X. I took my business off of X. I can't stand Elon Musk. So why would I be on his platform? So he can take my stuff and train his AI bot? Absolutely
Right.
not. Without your
No.
consent. He just said, if you're on there, then we can do this. I do not. I don't consent to social media rape.
Because that's exactly what it is.
That's it.
That's what I'm saying. And that's why I was like, you have to start looking, giving, vetting these platforms a little bit and figuring out which ones. Like I say, I think right now YouTube, from from a monetization standpoint and videos and things like that, I think YouTube right now is still like the safest of them all at this point. So if it came to it, like definitely start building up your YouTube following and migrating your people there. I think that was it's a better option. But Google for sure, as far as running ads, because everybody Google everything at the end of the day. So I think Google Ads is definitely going to be the way. I think you'll say we'll have to see how fan base goes. I know like they're raising money. He just hit over 6.8 million. So he's trying to raise the money to build out a better platform. I think, and he's been super transparent about the process and all that he's going through with the app. Like I say, right now it's research time. Like spending 75 days having a backup plan and researching what platforms really fit your content and where you can get the most out of it and really expand and grow your brand just in case. That way you're not mad when these 5 days is up. Because when
Right.
these 5 days is up, he can't say, oh, here's another 75. Like, to my knowledge. He can't create another executive order to extend out another 75, but I could be wrong. I think once these 75 is up, that's gonna be it.
Yeah.
But also, I think and jumping to red note, not a smart idea either. Why are you jumping from one Chinese base? Why
ah,
why are y'all jumping from one Chinese based app to another? Jumping to red note, not it either.
it's not.
Like legally, no company can own. I think what is it? The percentage? What's the percentage? Foreign companies. That so here's the thing. There's a certain amount of percentage that a foreign company that no foreign company can have 100% ownership.
Right.
Right. So the U.S. has to have some portion of ownership in any foreign created company, if I'm not mistaken, because that's how we got into this. That stock is
Yeah.
100% owned by China.
Yep.
So that's how we got here. So it is also a law on the books, but don't call me the actual law that it is. But I do know there is
It
a law
is.
about foreign ownership. So just to
So
be
that's
clear,
why
that's
Trump
how we
was
got here.
saying, "Oh, he wants the American people." Which American people you talking about? Because you definitely ain't talking about those people with melanin in our skin.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Them people
So
that running your administration. Let's be clear. The trickle down economics that Reagan talked about, that never happened for us.
okay.
It just never happens. And I want small business owners to be smart enough to know that you need to have some real estate of your own in your business. Like I have a
Yes.
blog. So at the end of the day, let's be clear. If I'm never on social media, I have a blog. All I have to do is start blogging and sharing. That's it.
Yep.
I said, and I have my membership. I pay a subscription every month so that I can house my content on there. And if I don't want to put it on Podia, I can put it on Thrivecart because I paid for that as well. That's what I mean when I'm talking about real estate. If
Yep.
you don't have any business real estate, then that you own, meaning that you're paying for or have paid for, then you're going to find yourself in the same position. Because, like B. Michelle, one day we went to go live on Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook, and he had disabled no, no, hey girl, hey, you
Right.
can't go live today, nothing.
Nada.
Ain't nothing. So
And the
my
way they
point
taking
is, that's crazy.
right, and the way they taking people, the way they shadow banning people, taking people just down. Why would you want to continue to deal with that? Like, and when I say it, people think I'm tripping, but you need a website. Like, I don't understand why people are so anti-website. Like, that is your real estate. Once you buy the domain name, you own the domain name. That's why people buy up domain names and sell them. Um, and sell them and make a ton of money because they know how valuable a domain name is very valuable, whether .com, .net, .org, but obviously .com is the most valuable of them all. But a domain name is very valuable. So building out a website, a blog, an email list, all of those things on the back end are super important in case all of this go away. Like, if there is no more Facebook, there is no more Instagram, at least you have your website, you have your email list, you have ways that you can get content out to them. There's another software where you can do video messages. um I forgot the name of it, but you can send out video messages to people if you want to be creative, because I know sometimes people like don't like to read a whole 2-page email, but you can get creative with your email and sending out videos. YouTube, like I said, seems to be the most valuable of them all. But if all these social media sites was to go away for any particular reason, as a business owner, you need to have some way of still keeping. Look, the pandemic should have taught us a lot. I'm not even under, I'm not even understanding why we having this conversation. To be honest, as if we just didn't go, wasn't sitting at the crib for a whole year, and half these people, like a lot of people, have to pivot in their business. Like a lot of people lost their business due to the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like, we should be used to pivoting by now. Like, I'm not even understanding why we having this conversation.
It's
Like
a,
at the
I
like
don't
it's
know.
crazy.
But it's like you said, they said, "Oh, I didn't think they would do that." Those people
Since,
in
since
Washington
when
are
has our
not on
government
social
ever been
media.
reliable?
Huh?
I said, since when has our government ever been reliable?
They assassinated its own president. I'm just saying. Like,
And that should be enough right there to let you
yeah.
know.
Since when do you trust the government? Never.
Oh,
I don't even trust my own school district. I don't
it's gonna
trust the
always be something.
employees. Like, are you serious? No.
It's be prepared because you never know what they gonna do.
Yeah.
Now, the thing about it is that things that are because this was in actual law that happened. It was just not a lot of hearsay. Like, y'all should have knew that they was gonna cut it off. Now, nobody saw it coming back 15 hours later. I'm not gonna lie, that one got me too, because I saw one of my colleagues talking about his backup, and I was like, so I went to go check. I was, oh snap! So nobody saw it coming back 15 hours later. But again, we don't know what happened in them 15 hours.
Yeah,
We don't know
because
what happened
here's
in them 15 hours.
yeah. Cause see, like I said, I'm on the political side, and I read a lot because I need to know what's going on. Guess what? Your boy Jeff Bezos, Donald Trump, to get him not to endorse Kamala Harris, you know what? The price tag was $40 million.
Golly,
Yeah. And he gets dibs on Melania Trump's actual biography.
what?
Yeah, that was the deal. Mark Zuckerberg gave Trump 100 million.
Golly.
You see what I'm saying? So now you see why he's forcing you all, because I guess black folks ain't being forced to follow that man. Because we probably already know what's up anyway. Like, why is this man coming up? Yeah. Yeah, because it didn't come on my timeline. And I went to his page to see, like, no. But
Not 100 million.
yeah, they said he gave 100 million donation. Yep.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
But
that's
this
why he got a
also just
front
lets
row
you know the
seat.
game they playing.
That's the
Like
game.
this out of our tax bracket.
And is.
Look, this is let you know the type of game that they playing with your livelihood, especially as people as content creators, influencers. And I think more so for the content creator influence, people that have a product and a legit service, I think y'all good. We good. Because you can always advertise your product in other commercial, TV, YouTube. There's plenty of other places that you can buy marketing and advertising from. But social media, like if you built a business off of content creation, then yeah, you need to reassess your business model.
And you do.
And if you don't have a business model, you need to get one at the end of the day. Because just posting on having a million followers here and having a million followers there, I mean, it was good while it lasted. Times is changing. And just think about it. With Facebook owning Instagram, I mean, that's him doing whatever he doing over there. You got the issue with TikTok. I mean, some of these other apps, ain't no telling how, I mean, how they gonna bully even these other apps. What ridiculous laws they gonna come up with? Because what I didn't know the U.S. was the only country that had to create one. So no other countries can make money off TikTok. Somebody said that in a video that the U.S. is the only country that has a creator fund, and I was like, that's interesting.
It is. Because they know, first of all, let's be clear, you're still an employee. You just don't have one that you clock in for. But you're an employee. Because
Right.
y'all work hard on the Instagram and that got on TikTok. Y'all work hard making all that stuff. Y'all got to be out your
Yes.
mind. No, ma'am. I told Ridgemont, I said, y'all work too hard on here. It YouTube is a lot easier because what
Yeah.
happens is they do the promotion. If you get people to like your stuff in the first 28 to 24 to 48 hours, they'll do the
Mm.
promotion for you.
Now that's a good point. That's a good
That
point. Look,
algorithm
I've
on
started posting
Instagram is garbage. Facebook algorithm, garbage.
garbage. No,
Because
really, I've started
it
posting my
stops.
shorts.
Huh?
Yeah, I've started posting my shorts on YouTube. I posted like 3 in the last couple of days. So I've been posting my and now YouTube lets you post up to a 3-minute video. Yes, Lord.
Right. So, I mean, there are options out there. TikTok, now YouTube, let me tell you, it's we middle class over here. We are. They
Right.
will shut you off, baby. They will. They will
Yeah.
shut, and they don't do copyright violations.
Mm.
You get
Oh
three
yeah.
times, you out.
Yeah, you got to follow the rules over at YouTube. That's why TikTok lets you do and say whatever.
Yeah.
TikTok let you do and say whatever over there. So you right. You can't come to YouTube with that bullshiggity. Um, you, you will get bounced.
They will. They will shut your stuff down. So, you know, it's a different time, like she said. It's time for you to find another platform that works for you. I'm looking for one that basically aligns with my values. And you don't get to talk crazy about women and colored people, i.e., black people, and me still have to be on your
Right.
platform. No, you don't.
No, that is factual and actual. We got to start standing on business on all fronts. Like, and this means you standing on business at your job, in the community. Like, the next 4 years is going to be wild. So, although the 92%, we are definitely resting, but we're not resting that hard to where we're going to let you keep playing in our face. We're not doing that level of resting. We still got to stand on business out here in these streets. and especially in the business space, and not let people take advantage of us either. um you know, no matter what type of space, whether it's opportunities, community, like, no, like, you still need respect, still needs to be given, and you're not about to talk about XYZ in front of me. Like, no, we gotta stand on business across all fronts. Like, your man, look, you go to work, your manager, she better not say nothing sideways. Look, even if you and your coworker might be beefing, you're not about to talk about her. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, we have to stand on business all the way through, because they need us.
They do.
Although sometimes they do need us. They do need us. Yeah, people can be replaceable in jobs or whatever, but like, at the end of the day, they need us.
Right. We spend $1 trillion in sales. That's what you all don't understand. Like, even when I talk to parents about advocating for their children and pushing back, I don't care how much money those people, they are fighting to keep employees. That's why they
Yes,
don't want to educate you. Because they know if you're free here, then you start being free physically. Like the
yes.
people said, we're not coming back into work. They meant that.
Look, look. Speaking of coming back into work, because 047 then signed that executive order that all federal employees got to return to work. Now I don't know how he gonna pull it off, but look, I said I'm about to go and order me some more popcorn, because my stash is about out. I'm about to go on Garrett's website and order me some Chicago mix and watch the show, because how he gonna make all these people come back to work?
Ask Google how that worked out.
Right.
They lost a
Like,
lot of
where you
employees
gonna house these people at?
and didn't have enough room.
Exactly. One person said that their whole team has really grown, so they don't even have space. Like, over the last couple of years since COVID, like, their team has just grown. Like, they don't even have space, and then you got people that live in other cities. Where they gonna come to work at? Like, it's crazy. So I don't know. At this point, some of it we gonna sit back and watch and see how it go. But as a small business owner, if nothing else, you take from this, number one, like, stay involved locally. You ain't got to be all the way in the trenches, but know what's going on with the local political climate in your city, and especially if you have a brick and mortar, and if your revenue is at a certain level, it is important that you know who's representing you, your city representative, what your mayor talking about. Like, San Antonio has more of a city council ran type city slash city manager ran type city, where some cities have a mayoral ran city. So you need to know which model your city functions off of, and how these new policies and new rules, because the city of San Antonio voted to take race out of Sabeta, um, out of their Sabeta requirements for government contracting.
Oh, really? Well,
Yes.
what about MB? What is it? MWEB?
Yeah. So I got to get the whole story, but I know as it relates to like local contracts, so the city, like, city of San Antonio type contracts, it's out of there. Yeah. They voted maybe maybe a month ago to take race out of out of there. So you got to watch and see what your city council is doing, and that's why I say, from a local level, not that federal don't matter, but you do got to definitely pay attention more so at the local level as a business owner, and just keep your ear to the streets about what's happening, because some of this stuff is gonna trickle down, and you don't never know when you gonna need X, Y, and Z, and you gonna look up budding them to sign a sign a new policy or law,
Yep.
and and you have no recourse, and you out of there. So
Yeah.
I do say that definitely as an entrepreneur and as on the influencer side, yeah, get your business together. Like get your paperwork together, run yourself as a legit real business. Cause the best thing you can really do for yourself and diversify your money. Like
Oh,
you should
that
be
was
into
one.
other things.
That was one platform I forgot to mention. Amazon.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Amazon. That's one way you can do things you can do, but you need to have like even if you're an influencer, get a like you said, get a website, run that, embed the invest in Vimeo, embed
Yeah.
it in your website, and get you some hits from Google. Like you have to start investing and
Yes.
getting some business real estate. Even if you're not brick and mortar, get you some real estate. You got to pay for something. It's not free.
Yep.
And a lot of you all have the freemium syndrome, and it's not free around these parts. Because to host a website, I think my website hosting, I have a good one with SiteGround. Shoot, it runs me about 500 a year.
Yeah, mine too. That's what I was just about to say, baby. They hit me. I pay quarterly.
Yeah.
I pay
So
quarterly for several websites actually. So yeah, between the foundation's website, both of my business websites. So yeah, like you gotta. I mean, it's definitely an investment, for sure. Just because the tides are turning, and we just don't know which way they turning just yet. But the best way is just to totally be prepared at the end of the day.
absolutely. But thank you all, because a lot of you all, I'm off for work because we have 2 days off because it's snowing
Yes,
outside. It sounds like it's raining because everything's melting, but guess what? It's supposed to drop and below 20 tonight. And guess what that's
yes.
turning into? You already know it,
Ice.
ice.
And then it's gonna be 70 degrees on Sunday.
Yes, so that's the Gulf Coast weather forecast for
The
you.
Gulf of
But
America.
yeah, girl, you
The
out of
Gulf of
line.
Gulf of America.
Gulf of America.
Baby, if he changed that name, I'm done.
I
I'm
can't.
done.
I can't. You how you like? But you know what? I learned in teaching, you can't try to figure out the logical nature of things in people's brain because clearly he has dementia.
I know, right, baby? That's why I'm about to order me some more popcorn when we hang up, so that way it'll be here in time for when the real fireworks happen.
All
Cause
right. All righty. Because I'm also, I look, I'm over it. Like I was mad at first because he won. Okay, we here. Now it's time for you all or us to bathe in consequences. Swim in it.
yep,
And I'm not,
you in
I
the
know that it's going to hurt because a lot of you all on these programs, y'all in for a rude awakening. What they're trying to do is exchange your handout for the wealthies. Yeah, they're going to start giving them handouts, which they've always gotten them. Because if you look into the history of these large companies, Johnson & Johnson, they were built on government contracts. At one time, Johnson & Johnson went bankrupt. The government contract got them out and
right
saved them. So let's be clear. A lot of these, like they say, their dads and stuff, the dads made their money off of the government. That's what they did.
fact.
So, but y'all have a good rest of your day. I don't even know what day it is. What's today? Tuesday?
Today
Yeah,
Tuesday. Today
today
is
is
Brand Tip
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
And you all have
Yes.
a, and if you have any questions about this, if you disagree, because on YouTube, y'all be trying to cover for me, that's fine. I'm ready. Get off of TikTok. Get you some real estate. If you ain't learned nothing else, invest in yourself. You want to talk to somebody? Hit us up. We got you. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Bye, guys.